Hello and thank you for tuning in again. I am the Economic Sovereign here to solve all of your AP macroeconomic needs. So today we're going to be talking about opportunity cost, constant opportunity cost. And for those of you who don't know, opportunity cost is what you're giving up to gain something else. So quick example. So say you have to be at school. Say you have to be to school at 7 o'clock. You sleep until 6 o'clock. Your opportunity cost is less sleep, because you could be sleeping until 6:30. So your opportunity cost is 30 minutes of sleep in that situation. So a more in-depth example, look at this picture here. So this may just seem like a silly meme. I know kids are into memes these days. So it's illustrating opportunity cost, surprisingly, because you're waiting an hour in line, so your opportunity cost is your time, but you're gaining a free beer. So really, it's quite economic. A simple meme can be quite economic. If you look in depth enough, a lot of things are going to be really economic once you get to learn some stuff. So what we have here is called the production possibility curve, or production possibility frontier, PPC and PPF for short. And what this is a graphical representation of two goods, good X and good Y, that can be produced with constant technology and resources per unit. Now you see here, good Y is tomatoes in this case, and good X is fish. Now if you have a problem that is asking you to put good X and good Y on a graph, you're going to want good X on the horizontal axis and good Y on the vertical axis. In this case, good Y is in increments of 2 going up from 2 to 14, and our good X is in increments of 1 going from 1 to 7. Generally, if you're asked to make up a table, it will not matter what increments you put them in as long as you graph and label correctly. Now you'll see we have point A, point B, point C, point D, point E, point F, and point G, all along this line. This line is known as the line of efficiency. And what efficiency is when all available resources are being allocated to maximize the production of goods and or services. So when all resources are being used to create goods or services at a constant rate, they'll be put on this line. So all points on this line, the line of efficiency, are known or feasible. And anything outside of this line to the right, let me put a little example out for you. Example H, point H. Point H would be known as efficient but not feasible. The reason point H is not feasible is because there aren't enough resources to get all the way out to point H. Now, another example is point I. Point I is not efficient but is feasible and or attainable because it is inside the line of efficiency. And because it's inside, it's not efficient. It's only efficient when it's on this line. Now, if you've been looking at this graph long enough, you'll see that for one of every fish, there's 2 tomatoes, and vice versa. 2 tomatoes, 1 fish. So every point on this line shows the economy using their resources efficiently to produce the maximum amount of goods, this case being fish and tomatoes, and the maximum amount of tomatoes they can have is 12, and the maximum amount of fish they can have is 6. Now all these points in between show the combination of good X and good Y to create a balance of goods. So you could have 6 tomatoes and 3 fish, or you could have 1 fish and 10 tomatoes. Again, 5 fish, 2 tomatoes, or 6 fish, 0 tomatoes, 12 tomatoes, 0 fish. It's all up to the economy which one you choose, because everything on this point, on this line, is efficient. So anything on this point would be rational and efficient and would be a good choice for the economy. So at the end of the day, it's going to be up to the economy. But then again, you're not going to want to choose something that's not in the realm of efficiency. So you're not going to want to choose point I because it's not efficient. You wouldn't want 2 fish and 4 tomatoes when you could have 3 fish and 8 tomatoes. And point H you simply cannot attain because you don't have that amount of resources or technology to attain this. Now, one of the ways you can reach something outside the realm of efficiency towards the right is an increase in technology or an increase in resources. So an increase in technology, as an example, imagine you used to pick tomatoes with your hand, but then you just came up with a machine that would pick tomatoes for you. Then that would make this go outward. Not outward, but it would make it shift. And that's how you would get to point H. Or for fish, say you were using a fishing rod to catch your fish, and somehow you found a net, you bought a net, or you made a net that would catch more fish for you. That is increasing the amount of this good, allowing the production possibility curve and line of efficiency to go out and possibly reach point H over here. That is how you would reach something that is currently unattainable. Or you could have an increase in resources used to create or collect your goods. So imagine it was just you picking tomatoes, and imagine you get a friend to help you pick your tomatoes. That is an increase in resources. Or imagine you're able to get a second fishing rod that would double your amount of fish that you're able to catch. So to find opportunity cost, you're going to want to find a constant formula, and the formula in this case would be to find the opportunity cost of tomatoes, you would want to put 6 fish. So to find the opportunity cost of tomatoes, you'd want to put 6 fish over 12 tomatoes, which would equal 1/2. So your opportunity cost for tomatoes would be 1/2, because you're giving up 1/2 of a fish for 1 tomato, and vice versa for fish. So you'd be putting 12 over 6 and getting 2, because you're giving up 2 tomatoes for 1 fish. Now keep in mind, this is only for constant opportunity costs, and the way you know it's a constant opportunity cost is if the line is straight. You'll see soon the line is going to be bowed if the opportunity cost is increasing. Then you'd have to find the opportunity cost per each point. To find the opportunity cost for good Y, you're going to want to put the maximum amount of good X, so 6, over the maximum amount of good Y, which is 12. And that's how you would get your opportunity cost. So put the opposite good on top, and then the good in question on the bottom, and then divide. The good in question on the bottom, and then divide. Not increasing opportunity costs. We'll get into that later. Alright, I'm going to whip up a quick example so you can try to figure out the opportunity cost of good X and good Y on your own. Hold on a second. And just like that, we're back. So, find the opportunity cost for both good X and good Y. I put up a simple formula for you. So put up your sacrifice over your gain, and that should give you your opportunity cost. So remember, maximum of the opposite good, and then maximum of your good, and then that should give you your opportunity cost. So take a couple seconds and try to find it. So hopefully that was enough time. So the opportunity cost for good Y would be 1/10, because you're giving up 1/10 of good X to produce 1 of good Y. The opportunity cost for good X would be 10, because you're giving up 10 of good Y to produce just 1 of good X. I truly hope this exercise helped and gave you a better understanding of opportunity cost, production possibility curves, efficiency, allocations, and etc. like that. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and tune in next time when we talk about increasing production possibility curves and opportunity costs. Once again, I've been the AP Economic Sovereign, here to solve all of your AP macroeconomic needs. Hello, and thank you for tuning in again. I'm the Economic Sovereign, here to solve all of your AP macroeconomic needs. So today we're going to be talking about opportunity cost, constant opportunity cost. And for those of you who don't know, opportunity cost is what you're giving up to gain something else. So quick example. So say you have to be at school. Say you have to be to school at 7 o'clock. You sleep until 6 o'clock. Your opportunity cost is less sleep, because you could be sleeping until 6:30. So your opportunity cost is 30 minutes of sleep in that situation. So a more in-depth example, Look at this picture here. So this may just seem like a silly meme. I know kids are into memes these days. So it's illustrating opportunity cost, surprisingly, because you're waiting an hour in line, so your opportunity cost is your time, but you're gaining a free beer. So really, it's quite economic. A simple meme can be quite economic. If you look in depth enough, a lot of things are going to be really economic once you get to learn some stuff.